Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
An adult even get to a point in the conversation where you get to tell somebody that what they're saying to you is mean. Like, the way I tell people what they're saying to me is means that I hang up. And secondly, as a woman, how y'all letting anybody gauge your attractiveness or tell you that you're average at best in terms of how attractive you are as a woman? You don't even know if they really like women like that. You know, if they're attracted to any woman. I'm not even being funny. I'm just being real. But in all fairness, there were both men and women saying he's being brutally honest with her. We need more of that. He's being brutally honest. No, he was being disrespectfully impractical. First off, because he didn't even really listen to her question like that. Like, she wasn't so much saying that she wanted a six-figure guy. This is at least my perception. What I heard her say is that basically she wants to feel safe and she wants to feel confident in submitting to a man, and she thinks the route to get there is by getting a six-figure man. Like, anything other than addressing that, I already knew was going to be impractical.
I'm still amazed by the stuff that comes out of your mouth. I don't understand why I did not see this coming. I do not understand why I did not see this coming. I don't even know what to say to you right now. I need you to shut the hell up for the immediate future.
There's more.
But I don't okay. You try to give guys who are not on your level a chance. Why?
Because I honestly want a six-figure guy. Is what I'm realizing.
Okay, so let me just go ahead and net it out for you. You ready?
Uh-huh.
The guys you want aren't asking you out.
Well, I haven't been putting myself out there, honestly.
But you put yourself out there enough for the guys you don't want or beneath you to ask you out.
Those are like guys I met online.
Right. So, again, the men you want are not asking you out. See, you ladies do this. You go and deal with men who you feel are beneath you, and then you ask how to fix them. I'm not beneath you. I don't know how to fix a guy that's down there. That's not my concern. The better question is, why can't you get a guy on your level? That's the real question. Well, the first thing.
Now, I usually talk about the make money online gurus, or in other words, gurus and fake gurus.
If you take the modern world, where people are trying to teach you how to come in and trade actively in stocks.
What's up, Tim Sykes, millionaire mentor and trader here. I want to teach you, I want to help you.
It's really stupid. And when you're already rich, to make your money by encouraging people to get rich by trading.
If you're a millionaire, why sell a course?
Then there are people on the TV and they say, I have this book that will teach you how to make 300% a year.
The Millionaire Booklet's going to give you 8 steps, and guess what?
And all you have to do is pay for shipping.
First, you're going to pay shipping and handling.
And it's ridiculous. And the people that do this all day think they're useful citizens, but they mislead you on purpose.
But now we're gonna pivot to the relationship industry, to my favorite guru, Derrick Jaxn, talking about himself in the third person. But before we begin, please note, the first rule of positive PR is to come through with your own dirt first before allowing others to do it for you. You see an example of Kevin Hart, who knew other people knew about his, extramarital affairs. And rather than paying them off, he didn't want to do that, or allowing them to come through the dirt first, he himself talked about it on his platform.
We are back with that extortion plot targeting Kevin Hart. He claims someone was demanding millions of dollars over a sexually suggestive video, and now he's posting an emotional apology to his wife and family. ABC's Lindsay Davis here with the story. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, George. Just last month, Kevin Hart took to Instagram to wish his wife, who he often refers to as his rib, a happy one-year anniversary. Then over the weekend, he took to Instagram again, this time to apologize to his pregnant wife for, quote, making a bad error in judgment.
While comedian Kevin Hart is known for cracking jokes, the funny man is now taking a serious turn, speaking out, trying to get ahead of what his reps are calling a failed extortion attempt.
I feel like I have a target on my back, and because of that, I should make smart decisions. And recently, I didn't.
The FBI is reportedly investigating a video showing Hart with a woman who isn't his wife. An extorter allegedly demanding millions of dollars from Hart, one of the highest paid comedians in the world.
I know that I'm going to hurt the people closest to me, who I've talked to and apologized to, being my wife and my kids.
Hart beat the extorter to the punch, posting this video on his Instagram account, apologizing to his family and wife, Aniko, who is 31 weeks pregnant with their first child.
I'm not going to also allow a person to have financial gain off of my mistakes. And in this particular situation, that's what was attempted. I said I'd rather fess up to my mistakes.
He even made money off of it by talking about it in his comedy tour. So, for you and I, if you have some skeletons in your closet, no matter how bad it is, it always does use the best service to come through with it first, rather than allowing some next man to do it for you.
What's going on, guys? Derrick Jaxn here, and today I am joined by my lovely wife, Danae, and we just wanted to address a couple of things. You know, we understand that some of you may have already heard, maybe not, that this chapter of our marriage is one that was preceded by a marriage that I completely failed. And I would say it just started around August, maybe September of last year. But, you know, a lot has been said already about what was the cause and all that other stuff. Some of it is true, some of it is completely false. But the truth is, and I'm saying it here now, is that Derrick Jaxn was involved with other women outside the marriage. So the same way that I preach, you know, men and women in this situation need to face consequences of their actions, deserve to be held accountable. Guess what? Derrick Jaxn's no exemption. He's not exempt from that. I'm also not a victim. Nobody made me do this. She didn't make me or push me to do it.
I have no sympathy for a man who finds it to be difficult to be faithful after being in a promiscuous lifestyle, and neither should you. Nobody told you to be promiscuous before the relationship, and nobody made you be monogamous with just her. You don't want her? Let another man have her. Simple. But the truth is, you've probably been cheating months before you actually put your dick in her. And more times, I would say 9 times out of 10, when a dude gets caught cheating, that wasn't his very, very first time cheating. That wasn't his only time cheating. That was his only time getting caught. Let's be real. Outweigh all the good that you've done. Motherfucker, that one slip up might cancel all the shit that you did.
Got him. We fucking got him. Got him. We fucking got him.
They got your ass on camera.
Niggas ain't got me on no fucking camera.
This is the clearest video I've ever seen. This is the most HD shit ever. This is 4K. How did they get you in 4K?
That ain't me.
A lot of you already seen this, but this is Derrick Jaxn. A lot of people think of him as a relationship expert and guru and all of that. Well, he and his wife are making this video because apparently at some point in their marriage, or maybe even beforehand in the relationship, he didn't take his own advice and he stepped out and he got involved with other women, as you heard them say. Now, upon first impression, nothing really stuck out to me about him, but more so about the wife. Like, I heard her say that she stands with her husband, she's proud to love him. I heard her say that, you know, this is some time ago, they've already processed this, overcame this, dealt with this a long time ago, and nothing's really new to her. But just by her body language, I was really wondering, like, did he force her to do this video? Like, she looks super uncomfortable, like she doesn't want to be there. But then I watched their live chat that they did right afterwards, and, you know, I kind of caught that this is just a part of her personality, so that kind of explains somewhat of her demeanor. You know, she clearly has a mind of her own, if you saw the live chat too, and she said that the live chat even was her idea. So with that, cool. She wants to stand by her husband. She feels like he's worth it. She has that right. Now, as far as what he said, I understand and I completely applaud him taking accountability, because too many times we see dudes and they got this sob story about how they was raised and, you know, they broken home and the goldfish died and they never seen a marriage and all that. He didn't do that. He just took accountability. But I hope he understands that all the accountability in the world is not going to rebuild broken trust. Not on a personal level, and even with the public that he's addressing. Like, even his most loyal supporters at this point will probably have a raised eyebrow from this point forward whenever he wants to condemn another man for something like this, and rightfully so. So hopefully he understands that.
I don't understand why you even did this to yourself. This made you look so fucking stupid. This shit make you look so stupid.
This is how his apology should have went. And before even the apology, when he was doing all this stuff, he should have had these women sign a non-disclosure agreement so he can keep his brand all safe and squeaky clean. I'm sure that's what Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith also have, just that, you know, Jada didn't tie the knot or wrap up any loose ends with August Alsina. So this is how his apology should have went. Imagine me in my car, okay? Imagine me in my car. Yes, guys, unbeknownst to most of y'all, but in my marriage, I have been faithful. First and foremost, I want to apologize to all the guys over the last 7, 8, 9 years. I've been coming very hard on you. I've just been dropping the hammer. I just made it seem like, you know, I was the perfect guy, and you know, all these other guys ain't shit. But there are very few guys like me out there, and you know, I have my mistakes, I have my flaws. And second of all, I want to apologize to all the women out there, making y'all feel like, you know, there are these perfect, well-mannered, no issues, nothing type of guys. I just want to say sorry for y'all for misleading you, and perhaps, you know, my advice has led to some breakups, or, you know, I still stand behind my advice, but me as a person, I didn't follow my advice. And even if it was after the Tasha K video, that's how his first, you know, video should have gone down. Not to post and delete. We always have the receipts.
To be June, we talking about my birthday. She basically lets me know there's no plan for her to be around on my birthday. Okay, now I'm in screw it mode, F it mode. I'm hitting up old chicks. I really don't care at this point. I don't care about my reputation. I don't care about the business. I don't care about any of that. One of those people was a girl named Candace. She's from Florida, Orlando, Florida. Girl I'd have known, at least been acquainted with for a couple of years, right? Last time I think I seen her was back in 2016 before me and my wife got together. I hit Candace up. I'm going to come down to Miami. We're going to kick it. I'm going to get a yacht, blah, blah, blah. Now, here's the thing. And we're going to do a Q&A right after this. Here's the thing. So me and Candace have had a sexual relationship without actually having sex all of these years, right? So we go hang out. We're on the yacht. We're doing our thing. Friends are there. We come back to my Airbnb. Everybody's having a kickback. She leaves. Everybody leaves. My boys leave. She leaves. Everything. She comes back the next day because we're going to go out to eat. And for some reason, here's the thing. So me and Candace have had a sexual relationship without actually having sex all of these years, right? Here's the thing. So me and Candace have had a sexual relationship without actually having sex all of these years, right? Here's the thing. So me and Candace have had a sexual relationship without actually having sex all of these years, right?
They got your ass on camera.
Niggas ain't got me on no fucking camera.
This is the clearest video I've ever seen. This is the most HD shit ever. This is 4K. How did they get you in 4K?
That ain't me.
I don't understand why you even did this to yourself. This made you look so fucking stupid. This shit make you look so stupid.
Got him. We fucking got him.
And I also thought it was very intriguing how he brought in God at the end. You know, I don't really hear him speak like that. So, you know, do it God's way or else it's going to fail. Now, if I saw that a couple of years ago, I honestly would have called BS. I honestly would have been like, nah, dude, like you can't use God as a scapegoat, you know, as if you not having Jesus is why you did what you did. Like if Jesus was there with you when you was with those other women, Jesus would have zipped up your zipper for you. That's not how it worked. Like, who are you kidding? But now I have a relationship with God for myself, so I hear things a little bit differently. And what I heard whenever he said that was that, you know, when you go into a godly commitment, which marriage is supposed to be, you can't lean on your own understanding. You can't do it by yourself. You can't do it by your own willpower, your own good intentions and vows and love for a person. If you go into a godly commitment, you have to lean on God. You have to do things like to God's standard. You have to rely on God's grace. That's the only way you're going to be able to do it for the long term. And that I can personally relate to. Now, regardless, whether you like them, love them, or hate them, I think this is a great example as to why we don't need to be putting anybody on the pedestal. Nobody. And I think a lot of women did that. And I'm not even going to say it's the women's fault by themselves, because this dude, he never really showed his struggle. You know, we understand, oh, we're all humans and we all make mistakes, but he never showed those mistakes, not for real. I think he wrote about it or something like that, but he never showed that side. So it's not really all on the women, but I've seen a lot of women put this dude on the pedestal to the point of idealizing him and even comparing their man to him. Like they'll compare their man's good, bad, and ugly whole story to Derrick Jaxn's snippet. You know, which is, of course, a standard nobody can meet consistently. That's like a dude taking a picture of another woman who's in shape and she got a 4-pack and, you know, she just beautiful and all of that stuff and her body's just super tight, and him comparing his woman to that woman because his woman got a couple extra pounds from having a baby. Meanwhile, he don't know that woman in the picture may not even be able to have children. She may be struggling with that and coping with it by working out 2-3 times a day. She may have an unhealthy body image, and that's why she works out obsessively and consistently and looks so good. Like, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's wise to ever idealize somebody or compare them. Like, not only because somebody can be living a double life, which I don't think is quite the case here, according to his wife, behind the scenes, without anybody knowing. And of course, this part ain't gonna blow up, but he's been putting in the work to kind of reconstruct what all had been broken since last year. So I don't think it's a double life thing, but you don't know what struggle somebody has behind the scenes. You don't know their shortcomings. You don't know where they're falling short. So it's just not wise to compare, you know, on any level. Nonetheless, I know some people will see this type of video, even though he's come forward and he's been completely honest. Some people are just gonna close the book on D. Some people are gonna close the book on this dude and say, you know what? I'm done with you, cancel culture, come here. I'm more so on the side of his wife and just basically letting this be a new chapter of how I see him, because I do believe that his content over the years has helped a tremendous amount of people. You know, he tells the truth, he speaks facts. And quite honestly, I'm gonna be real with y'all, I've needed several new chapters in my own life, Lord knows. And I'm not ashamed to say it, but I'm no guru. Those are just my thoughts. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. And by the way, he has a book detailing how he and his wife overcame all of this in their private lives a long time ago, matter of fact. It's called Heal Together Without Hurting Each Other. So if you're in a situation like this, you want to let God in to totally restore it better than new, click the link down in the bio or up in the bio in the caption. I got a 50% off deal for you guys who are
Oh, where should we begin? Where should we start? Where should we start? You know, for many years, you know, I've even bought Derrick stuff. I have his card game here, Mentally Stimulating. He made money off of me too. No cap.
Cuz I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm angry. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do.
Actually, this is actually not a bad game. This is actually not a bad game. Mentally Stimulating Me, pretty dope concept. Definitely entertaining and a good date idea, or whenever it goes at your crib. I still would highly recommend this card game. But authenticity is the name of the game. Authenticity. When you demonstrate yourself as some holier than thou persona, you never talk about your shortcomings, never talk about where you messed up in your own relationships or business. Any little thing that you fuck up with or that you mess up with can be used against you. I personally, you know, I kind of low-key creating a little brand around, you know, exposing fake gurus. But I, even myself, was a fake guru myself. I made a whole video, like a clip, talking about my own fake guru experience. I was making more money talking about make money online methods than actually making money from those methods, right? I exposed myself before others exposed me. And in terms of just in general, like the relationship advice part, always understand that any advice that makes you feel content, makes you feel bubbly, makes you feel warm on the inside, is probably gonna lead you astray, mislead you, bamboozle you.
Because we recognize that we have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
As a woman, it's hard to hear that although you might be the main girl or the main wifey, that your man still may want to partake in other extra stuff on the side, and that your focus should be on being the main girl, the one who has the resources.
I have no sympathy for a man who finds it to be difficult to be faithful after being in a promiscuous lifestyle, and neither should you. Nobody told you to be promiscuous before the relationship, and nobody made you be monogamous with just her. You don't want her? Let another man have her. Simple. But the truth is, you've probably been cheating months before you actually put your dick in her. And more times, I would say 9 times out of 10, when a dude gets caught cheating, that wasn't his very, very first time cheating. That wasn't his only time cheating. That was his only time getting caught.
What up, Team Jackson? Ladies, stop messing with these little boys. If he can't appreciate you bringing nothing but pussy and another nigga's kids to the table, he's not a real man. What up, Team Jackson? Ladies, I'm here to let you know, everything wrong with you is the black man's fault. That's right. I'm here to tell you everything you want to hear and nothing you need to hear. That way it keeps you right where you're at in life, because you'll never realize you're the problem. What up, Team Jackson? Ladies, get you a real man that'll sit up at all times of the night and listen to your problems you have with black men. He needs to learn how to take accountability for all the bad men that you dated that came before him. All the street niggas, all the thugs, all the bad boys. If he can't do that, he ain't the right man for you.
Unless you find that 0.0001% needle in a haystack guy that, you know, is just out of, and it's just because what most women want, and I think I heard this guy, Caleb Jones, talking about this. He said something to the effect of, he said they want a submissive alpha, which doesn't exist. Meaning they want a guy who has the sexual attraction and—
That's an oxymoron in itself.
That's exactly, but that's what most women want. They want a guy who's the most sexually attractive, desirable, interesting, funny, successful guy. But they're like, I want that guy to only be with me. Like, so you see, and that's what you're saying. You're like, I want that dude to only be with me.
What's wrong with that?
Because every other woman's saying that. So let's say if I'm chilling and a woman seeing me, she's like, oh, I want Miss Lucari to be with me. The other woman's, I want Miss Lucari to be with me. The other woman's like, I want Miss Lucari to be with me. And I'm like, wait a second.
I'm like, well, you can't because he's mine. So what's up?
Right, but then I'm gonna say I can because I can get all y'all. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what it is. That's how it works.
Point early in the video. Let me make this clear as if I have to make it clear. Because if you own all my books, you know where I stand on this issue. If you own any of my books, you know where I stand on this issue. If you're a cheater or adulterer, you're a verbal coward. Period. End the story. You're a punk. Want to Skype with me so I can tell you directly? Give me your information so I can tell you directly. You're a punk. You're a verbal coward. You're a punk. Period. End the story. I don't care how much money you get. I don't care if you're making $1 million. I don't care what you got going for you. If you got to lie to your wife, fiance, or girlfriend and sneak behind her back in order to fuck other women, you are a punk. Period. Drops mic. Now, this is a testy issue, man. I've gotten into it. I told this story in at least 1 or 2 videos, man. I got into it with some of my own frat brothers about this issue. And, you know, I'm a member of Cap Alpha Psi, man. I got love for my frat brothers. But me and a group of my frat brothers had a falling out over this very issue, the issue of cheating. Because, truth be told, and most people know that if they're familiar with my fraternity, a lot of my fraternity brothers, they swear by cheating. Like, starting with college days, they used to believe in having a serious girlfriend and then having 2, 3, 4, 5 side chicks. But once I became on one, that type of attitude went out the window for me. Now, I cheated before. I won't lie. So I ain't going to sit here and act like I've never, ever done it. When I was 18 years old, I once cheated on a girlfriend towards the tail end of my senior in high school. That was the first time I ever cheated on a woman. But yeah, towards the very end of my senior in high school, cheated on a woman, felt bad about it. Later told the woman I cheated. Because it was actually one of her best friends. One of her best friends threw the pussy at me, and I took it. Just shows women, man, you can't even trust some of your best friends. This wasn't like some girl she just knew. This was like a woman that was in her inner circle, like one of her best friends. Threw the pussy at me towards the end of my senior in high school, and I took it. Then the second woman I cheated on was my girlfriend from college. When I was both 19 and 20, I cheated on my girlfriend from college. Starting with the age of 21 up until now, I ain't never cheated on a woman. Ain't never cheated on a woman. Now, let me clarify. I'm not against a man being married, being engaged to be married, or being in a long-term romantic relationship and having additional lovers. I am not against that. So I don't want anybody to get that mistaken impression. I'm not criticizing men who have a wife, fiance, or long-term girlfriend, and in addition, they have additional lovers, such as a concubine or a polyamorous lover. I'm not against that at all. What I'm specifically against is cheating. In other words, when you're giving your wife, fiance, or long-term girlfriend the misleading impression that you have a desire to be indefinitely and romantically faithful to her when you know deep down you have no plans of doing so. And when you're in that category, I have no respect for you because you're a verbal coward, man. You ain't got no backbone. You ain't no real man in my eyes. Maybe in your friend's eyes, your buddy's eyes, in my eyes, Alan Rogers Curry's eyes, you ain't a real man to me, man. Real talk. You ain't a real man to me. Like I said this on a video, I think 3 or 4 years ago. I was talking about Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, I lost respect for Tiger Woods, man, when he had to resort to cheating on his wife. Man, when you get that type of fame and that type of money, you gotta be man enough to lay down your program to a woman and say, hey, I'm providing you with a good life. Here's the real deal. I'm gonna be fucking other women. If you got a problem with that, let me know right now so I can replace you with somebody else. That's how a real man goes about his shit and handles his business. If you cheat on women, don't ever call yourself mode 1. You can call yourself high value and all that other bullshit, but don't ever call yourself mode 1 because you ain't mode 1. You ain't mode 1 if you cheating. That's for cowards. That's for verbal cowards. Cheating is for verbal cowards. Guys with no real balls, no real backbone. That's what cheating is for. Guys with balls and backbone, they lay shit out up front. Like you take my wife right now. And most of y'all know this because y'all have heard me say it on different live streams I participated in. My current wife, I ain't never promised or guaranteed her long-term strict monogamy. Ever. Not one time. Have I been monogamous to her up to this point? Yes, I actually have. I haven't had sex with any other woman other than my wife since we started seeing each other. So I've chosen to be faithfully monogamous to my wife. I talk about that if you own my book, The Beta Male Revolution. That's one of the first things I talk about in that book. I say there's basically 2 types of monogamy. There's natural, or what I call voluntary monogamy, and then there's obligatory monogamy. Obligatory. Plain and simply, obligatory, anytime, the only reason you're being monogamous with someone or trying to be monogamous with someone is because you feel like you have to or you're supposed to be, that means you're indulging in obligatory monogamy. I don't believe in obligatory monogamy. Don't believe in this shit. Never have and never will. On the flip side, natural, or what I call voluntary monogamy, that's when you, for a certain period of time, it could be indefinitely or it could be just for a number of months or years, you choose to be monogamous. That's the category I am with my wife right now. I'm voluntarily monogamous with my wife. But I told my wife from the get-go when we first started dating, I laid down the law with my wife, and she'll tell you if I was to put it on video. I told her straight up, I said, if there comes a time where I cross paths with a woman that really turns me on sexually, there's a greater than 50% chance I'm gonna fuck her. I said, the thing I'm gonna do to you though, I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'm gonna tell you up front. I'm not gonna sneak and do anything behind your back and disrespect you like that. I'm gonna let you know up front that there's another woman I'm fucking.
As a woman, it may not be sexy or nice to hear that men don't typically like obese, chubby, fat women. Like fat, like unhealthy fat, right? And as a man, you may not like to hear the fact that for marriage at least, or long-term relationships, a woman may not like you to be broke, living at your parents' place, and not really doing anything, right? In order for a man to have a successful dating life, he has to actually do stuff. Whether it's actually working out, making sure his body's right, making sure he's eating right, making sure that he's doing the things to keep his body right, but also the fact that he has to approach. We're constantly in action mode, constantly having to do stuff to get the outcome or the end result that we want. We need to approach 25 girls a week, 10 girls a week, whatever it is, so that you can actually, go through all the bullshit, the girls that don't like you, the non-interest girls, the medium interest girls, and then actually find the high interest girls that are actually attracted to you. For the most part, a man is judged by the girl that he can actually sleep with, whereas a woman is judged by the man that she can actually keep. Like for the most part, try and be as pretty as possible, be feminine, be nice to be around, be cooperative, not be overly aggressive, you know what I'm saying? Not trying to compete with me, but just do you in your own lane. And then a lot of girls might say, oh, what if I do all this wifey stuff for him, wash dishes or whatever it is, and then he doesn't wife me? Well, do you realize that guys go through all this shit too? They take you on a date, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 dates. Girls have probably gone on dates, guys have probably gone on dates with 2, 3, 4 times with this one girl, and then they never got anything out of it. What do you say to that guy? Right? So like, it's give or take. It's give or take. You have to be vulnerable in approaching, possibility of rejection, vulnerable in that you might do X, Y, Z, but you might not get the outcome that you want. But that doesn't mean you stop doing it just because it didn't work out with this one person. All I'm saying is that from the relationship industry, any advice that's not actionable, that's not propelling you to do stuff, is just feel-good advice. It's just making you feel good. It's not really doing much for you. It's taking up your 10 minutes, your 8 minutes of life. If it's not actionable, it's not propelling you to do stuff and do X, Y, Z, and not really be content, it's bullshit.
I know, I'm pissing everybody off tonight. That's my job.
And that's what a lot of Derrick Jaxn's content for 7-10 years has been. This man is like, what, 31, 32? He made a video talking about why 40-year-old and plus women are the best on the dating market. Nigga, are you dating 40-year-olds, man? How can you as a 31-year-old say that 40-year-olds are the best to date? The equivalent of this would be to say that 18-year-old men are the best to date, when in reality we know that men usually get finer with age as they become more mature, are able to have a more income potential compared to their 18-year-old self living with their parents. Men and women are judged on two different things, and women's beauty and youth is heavily valued compared to a young man's youth, essentially, and inexperience. There are a lot of charlatans out here, and all I'm gonna say is within a year or two of listening to this person, has your life improved at all? Have you gained anything? Have you done more than you done in previous years, or are you just now more, you have more self-worth, however you describe that? Like, I'll give you the perfect example of one action that made me want to wife this girl. She had come over one time. I was still working on doing some assignments, finish up some editing and research for my next video, and without me saying anything, right, we're about to chill, you know, do Netflix and chill, you know what I'm saying? And she had gone downstairs, wash the dishes. That simple act. And then I went downstairs, I'm like, is this shit I washed? I'm like, you wash the dishes? That, you know, that, like, just stuff like that just shows you, like, okay, I can take her seriously more. And obviously she could have done all this and me still not see her in that light, but that definitely increases your possibility or your probability. Just simple stuff like that. You could do all this for this person and you could get no outcome, but that doesn't mean you stop doing X, Y, Z for the next person. What does it say? Making a man or woman in your past, making a man or woman in your present pay for the mistakes of a woman or man in your past equals no future. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. Let me run it back again. Making a man in your present pay for the mistakes of the man or woman in your past equals no future. That's all I'm gonna say. Stay safe out here. These social media streets are hefty. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. As always, it doesn't feed you, don't water it, and too much of any good thing is good for nothing. How you lot doing today? Stay with me. I'm doing more, saying less, and keeping that same energy. No cap. Flip the script.
I think I'ma be the next to blow it. First you gotta tell yourself that you are that nigga and go and get it. Writing down the check you deserve so they don't forget it. Make your homies travel the world. The only pivot, black jacket, Kevin Hart for my haters. Oh no we didn't, had you asked, would've told you it would be like this. I'm optimizing my prime so every switch don't miss. 29 became 30, glasses on.